Well, hey folks, real honestly, what your rental is a SmackDown Live Christmas review. Yes, I said I wasn't going to review this, but I was able to go home from work early due to the fact it was Christmas, so I was able to watch it and figured, why not? You guys tend to enjoy the reviews, and I do want to say really quickly another reminder that myself and the Durbinator will be doing a live Q&A/gaming stream on the 30th. It'll happen sometime around noon or 1 p.m. West Coast time, so adjust your clocks accordingly. So that being said, let's get right on with this review of a decent episode of SmackDown Live. Nothing hugely noteworthy outside of like one title change we all knew about happened, but there were some good, there were some bad, so let's get right into it. Dubbed in crowd noise is dubbed in, but on a tape show that's going to happen. It was like a lot of the older episodes, like 93, 94, 95, like a lot of that stuff. Some bad memories, some good memories from that. Pre-taped, you did have some pre-taped stuff that they had like backstage, like some weird backstage stuff that we'll get into. You did have Truth Claus or Trutho Claus or Afro Claus or whatever, and Carmella as an elf or Carm Alpha. I hate these puns, yet I love them at the same time. They were spreading Christmas cheer, doing this kind of stuff, and then Daniel Bryan comes out and talks about how Christmas is killing the environment and everybody wanting more and more and more is melting the polar ice caps, and soon the North Pole will be flooded and all this stuff. And yeah, Brian's playing up with this whole thing of environmentalist, vegan, earth-friendly stuff. It's working. I'm starting to wonder maybe if it's going to be a little too much, if he's trying to go a little too much in the opposite direction. But he does know what he's doing. He's getting the crowd to hate him, so bravo. He does end up beating up Truth, which I liked. Because he beat up Truth because Truth said he, could win the Royal Rumble and take the title from Daniel Bryan. That's if Daniel Bryan's still champion. And then Daniel Bryan attacked Truth's knee for about 5 goddamn years, while Carmella was doing what she does best, screaming and not doing anything. Because let's be honest, this is probably about the best stuff that Carmella's done all year, because her title run doesn't count because that was pretty shit. But still, it was what it was. Like I said, Bryan attacked Truth's knee for a while, and then we get to Andrade Cien Almas versus Mustafa Ali in a pretty good match, but a pretty short match. I think maybe bell to bell, this might have been 10 minutes. I don't even know if it was that, because there was a commercial break. It was a good match. It was a no-win situation no matter what. They had to have Ali win, but it came at the expense of Almas. And I get that it was playing off the fact that both these guys were in the tag match last week, and a really good tag match. And this was good stuff, but Ali winning, okay, cool. I'm all for Ali getting a push. But man, they have ruined Almas this year. I mean, they really have. He has not been featured all that well. I'm not saying he should have gone an undefeated streak, but my God, he's losing all the damn time. And any matches he's winning, like he won that feud against Sin Cara, where, yeah, remember that? I actually had to remind myself just now that happened. That's about the last thing I remember Andrade winning, like, on the main roster. It's just really sad. But Ali got the win, hit the 054. It was a good TV match. I just hope bigger things are in store for Almas in 2019. Ali, however, does deserve this. Even if I'm afraid that if they happen to give him the WWE title by the Rumble, if they happen to really rocket him, holy fuck, that's going to create some backlash. It's going to be cool to see, but it's going to create some backlash. But then we get a Joe promo. Says he is Jeff's new addiction. Bit weird. Smojo's also great at storytelling and not so great at winning matches. It's kind of sad. And then we get Gallows and Anderson and the Usos versus Sanity with Eric Young outside. So it's Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf and the Bar in an 8-man tag match. And New Day on commentary with Big E oiling himself up a lot. Not PG at all. Oiling himself up in front of kids, but whatever. I mean, Big E just has a whole lot of fun. He was still oiling himself up on commentary. It was a bit weird. And Kofi was dressed up like an elf. I don't know who Xavier was dressed up like, but it was a bit weird. It was a mess. This was a mess of a match. I mean, it was also given very little time. Everybody hit their big moves, a little bit of tag action, and then, oops, somebody hits a move, and then they get hit with the move, and then and then we get to the finish, which is the Magic Killer on Cesaro for the 1, 2, 3. So once again, Sanity does not pick up a victory in a tag match. Now, they did not get pinned here, but still, they're on the losing side. Did WWE just call up Sanity by accident? I mean, serious question. They called up Sanity and have not really used them well at all. This is the most used that they've been in like 3 months. And Gallows and Anderson getting the victory doesn't bother me, but I'm kind of starting to think that they've taken the shine off of Gallows and Anderson too much. They maybe could salvage Sanity more than Gallows and Anderson. But it was a bit of a lose-lose situation. They had to have one of the New York teams win, and Usos being on the Wayne side certainly was the right call. But maybe this guarantees that Gallows and Anderson aren't going to get the victory. They aren't going to become tag team champions. Miz and Shane are going to become tag team champions, and I'm going to throw up. Because it's probably going to happen. But anyway, it was what it was. Gallows and Anderson got a victory. Sandy on the losing side again, even though they didn't get pinned. And then we had another package for the NXT call-ups. Hooray! Okay, I mean, it's getting kind of a bit annoying now. They really need to introduce them by, if not, I mean, obviously not the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day edition of Raw and SmackDown, respectively, but by the next week, by the following week, they have to introduce them on TV. They really do. Just something. I mean, anything. Because if they push this out till the Rumble, it's going to be way, way too long. Because then it's going to be like the Emelina debut that ended up finally happening after about 16 years. Remember that stuff? That was shit. Mustafa Ali gained a whole lot of love backstage, even teasing a possible feud with Shelton Benjamin, and then gets attacked by Daniel Bryan. We're getting Ali versus Bryan at Royal Rumble, aren't we? We're probably going to have Styles thrown in there. Throw Andrade in there. Make it a four-way. I believe Derb and myself talked about that on a recent review, and I 100% agreed. Miz TV with Shane. I hate this. I hate this so much. I hate it. I hate it. I have nothing against Miz getting more TV time. Shane, of course, is the best wrestler in the world. He's the best. I hate this. I absolutely hate it. It's going to lead to them being tag team champions. Shane finally agreed after hearing a moving story from Miz about, Miz's father being proud of him and saying, hey, he was praising Shane, so maybe if he teams up with Shane, he can be a champion with him. They can be the best damn tag team in the world. And Shane even said, if you screw me, there's going to be consequences, which probably means they're going to win the tag titles at the Royal Rumble. They're probably going to do it. They're going to lose them soon after, and then it's going to lead to a feud, and Miz isn't going to turn babyface. I don't know what's going to happen beyond that, but it's going to lead to Miz versus Shane at Mania. Because Shane McMahon is the best wrestler in the world. I hate it. I goddamn hate it. I have nothing against Miz being used, and he should, quite frankly, be in the WWE title picture or something. He should be the one to actually beat Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Maybe it should be like the heel Bryan versus the face Miz, even though it would be odd. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're sputtering with Miz, and I don't get it. But we then get a Rusev promo and a Nakamura promo later on, hyping the U.S. title match is going to be happening later, and then Joe versus Jeff Hardy. And this is great because I missed this episode of Impact once. Oh wait, this is an episode of Impact? How quaint. No, it's an episode of WWE in 2018. And that's, Impact used to have these guys. Actually had them feud before, but it was what it was. I don't think they feuded for long, but anyway, it was decently well wrestled. You had Joe grounding Jeff Hardy doing some high-flying shit and somehow not dying, and then it goes outside. You get barricade usage, and Jeff just keeps pounding on Joe. No, that's not a euphemism. Beats him up, and the referee calls for the bell. Joe tends to get beat up a whole lot, and the bell gets called on him for whatever reason. Joe never comes out on the winning end of a lot of these feuds, and it's really, really ridiculous. I mean, I get that he's a heel, but he does end up, of course, eventually getting the Coquina Clutch on after a teased announcer's table spot and choke out. And okay, so this feud's going to continue, probably going to continue into the Rumble, something like that, because you don't need to have it on TV every week. Fine, whatever. Joe should win this feud, but he won't. And then John Cena is going to return. Ba, 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 ba. Jimmy, well, he had the Usos backstage. Jimmy says, I'm going to go find my wife. Cool, okay, Merry Christmas, all this. Then turns and sees Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville in a weird mistletoe that somebody really tall had to hang up, which means the Great Khali is back. Dear God, I hope not. Mandy is like, oh, Jimmy, you know what this means. Oh, no. And Jimmy, being the loyal man that he is to his wife, and rightfully so, him and Naomi seem perfect for each other, is like, no. Mandy's like, you don't know what you're missing. Sonya, that's the best use you can find for Sonya this week. I mean, yeah, whatever. Then Naomi goes to attack Mandy, saying she's going to snatch her. That's gross. That's what waxing is for. And I think it means, I don't know what that means. I don't know what the snatching thing means, honestly. I don't understand the lingo of kids these days. But then again, anyway, so we're getting possibly We can end up having somebody teaming with Mandy versus Jimmy and Naomi. I don't know who you would have. Whatever, they're doing something, but just don't make this Alana, Ziggler, Rusev, Summer Rae storyline. Please don't make it that. But then we get to Rusev versus Nakamura in a very well wrestled match. If you check out no other match from this show, I recommend that you guys check this out. It was a very good match, very well wrestled. Nakamura, probably the most motivated that he's seemed in months. And, you know, his U.S. title reign has been a complete flop. Let's just be perfectly honest with it. He targeted Rusev's ribs, did do a couple nice triangles. Rusev kept coming back. Crowd was getting super over on him. There was a lot of really good near falls, really good Machka kick usage, really good knee strikes. Rusev ended up, however, eventually hitting the Machka kick for the 1, 2, 3. New U.S. champion Rusev. It took him goddamn long enough to realize how good Rusev is. And that man deserves a massive push in 2019. I mean, that U.S. title deserves to be on the main card in a prominent spot as opposed to last year, or as opposed to earlier this year. It deserves to be featured prominently. So, Rusev is his new U.S. champion. Well-wrestled match. And it was great. Nakamura, I'm not sure what you do with him after this. I'm not sure if Nakamura is going to stick around WWE or if he's going to go back to Japan. Because honestly, I don't really see what they're really going to do with him. I mean, who knows? But then we have this weird segment where AJ Styles goes and meets Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon's like, it's like, why aren't you competing on your show? You're the one that books this shit, Vince. What the fuck is wrong with you? You fucking old bastard. I mean, good lord. But he's trying to get a dark side out of AJ Styles and saying, I know that you can be this guy. I know that you can be this guy. And he slaps AJ. And then AJ punches him. He might have really punched him because Vince was selling that quite a bit. We're getting, I guess, a heel turn for AJ Styles or a darker AJ Styles. I don't really know. Honestly, that was a bit weird. Maybe we get a darker AJ Styles. Maybe this is a way to explain him. Maybe winning the Rumble. Maybe going to Raw, challenging Lesnar. Something. I don't know. But anyway, B-, pulls up there. It wasn't a bad episode. It wasn't a great episode. But B- because I did enjoy the U.S. title match. I did enjoy other stuff about it, but still, there was some fluky, weird stuff backstage. But SmackDown is much more streamlined than Raw. So anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. Spend real honesty with John Ritzlin. I honestly hope all of you have had a very Merry Christmas. And whatever holiday you celebrate, I hope it has been a tremendous holiday season for you. And I will see you soon.